Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. Come on, baby, don't play with it.
What's up, y'all? It's Nay, aka Plumbish Bay, and as you can tell by the title of this video, I've got some news to share with y'all. But before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, turn your post notifications on to stay tapped in with your girl. Y'all, I have missed y'all so much, and I'm so sorry that I have been gone for so long, but a lot has been going on. So today I'm going to be doing a Q&A, just kind of giving you guys an update of where I'm at, what I've been going through, and how this pregnancy journey has been for me, especially being plus size, and how everything has been kind of since we found out till now. So I'm going to start off with the most common question that I've got, which is, how has my experience been overall, and when did I find out? So I found out in December. I have missed my period, and normally I have an irregular period because I have struggled with hormonal issues pretty much my whole life. And so I didn't really think much of it, but I was like, something just felt off, and I was like, you know what, let me take a test just to be safe. Let me do it. There is like a 99% chance that I'm not pregnant, and it's just an imbalance that's throwing off my period cycle. Just in case, I am going to be taking a pregnancy test today, and I decided to record it just in case it is positive. I want to record just in case I am, because I would be mad at myself if I didn't, capture the moment. But yeah, let's get into it. I am going to bring you along to pee on the stick with me. This is actually the first time that I'm peeing on the stick and not peeing in a cup and then dunking the stick. So hopefully this goes as planned. All right. Now we're gonna let it sit. I'm gonna walk away because it's gonna make me anxious. And yeah, okay, bye. Guys, I didn't even walk away yet. I took the test and it turned out that I was actually pregnant. So as any logical person would do, I took 4 more tests because I couldn't believe that it was actually positive. And also, my man at the time, he was at work. So I found out early in the afternoon because I really was like, I don't think it's going to be positive. But then when it was positive, I was like, oh my God, now I have to wait for him to get home. So that was literally the longest day of my life. I surprised my partner with a gift, and at the bottom of the gift was the pregnancy test. And I'll insert a clip of his reaction.
I'm trying to see where it's at. Thank for being a part of ours. Ooh.
You like those ones better than the gray ones?
I don't know. I gotta see how it looks.
I'm pregnant.
Are you serious? You for real?
Mm-hmm. I took 5 tests to make sure. Mm-hmm. I know. As y'all can see, he is extremely excited. He's going to be an amazing father. He's been an amazingly supportive partner, and honestly, just keeping me grounded through this entire experience and this whole process, reassuring me that, everything is going to be okay, that we're going to be great parents, and that we're going to show our child something different than what we've experienced. So I can't even shout him out enough. He has been absolutely phenomenal, but my man has been extremely supportive, and I have been so grateful that I have such a supportive partner and somebody who is just excited, if not more excited, about this pregnancy than I am. But to get into my experience, this feels like a hard question for me to answer, simply because it's always going to be the most amazing experience for me in my mind, because this is my first child and I'm having it with the love of my life, and we're bringing this child into such a loving home, and I'm just overjoyed and thrilled to be this child's mother and that this child is going to be able to experience the father that they're going to have. But I will admit that it has been taxing physically, emotionally, spiritually, all the above. And I think it's natural that it's been that way. I feel very grateful to be able to carry this child and that I've had a healthy pregnancy thus far, you know, and God willing, all the way through till we deliver. Physically, the first trimester, look, I thought it was gonna be sweet. We found out at 5 weeks. From 5 to 7 weeks, I was chilling. I was like, oh, this. I don't know what they be talking about. The first trimester be this. I'm not experiencing any of that. 7 weeks hit, girl. I was throwing up every morning. The morning sickness was crazy, and it wasn't just in the morning. That's one thing that I didn't realize, was that morning sickness is actually all day sickness. And I was still teaching at the time during the year, and so I was really going through it. From about 7 to 11 weeks, I was very physically exhausted, not necessarily mentally exhausted, but definitely the first trimester sent me on a loop. I didn't have any weird or crazy food aversions. Some smells were really, really strong. Other than, it was weird during the first trimester when I would eat chicken, it would make me sick to my stomach and I would typically throw up. So that was something I stayed away from. Moving into the second trimester, I would say I kind of started to feel like myself again physically, but emotionally is where it kind of started to tilt a little bit. So physically I was feeling better, but emotionally I was kind of going downhill a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily classify it as a dark or depressing type of feeling, but it was more so just accepting and getting really engaged in what the change was going to look like and who I was going to be after giving birth. And also just physically, as your body starts to change, because I'm already a plus size woman, I think that in being pregnant in the body that I have, it was hard because as a partner, I felt a little guilty that, you know, I didn't have the little, you couldn't tell the little changes. It's how my belly was getting bigger day in, day out. Over time, yes, now my belly is super, super big and the baby has been kicking. We're at 32 weeks now, so he's felt the baby now, but I think in those early stages, I felt a lot of guilt as a partner just because there were things I could feel or things that I was experiencing that I knew he didn't get to experience. And he reassured me that he didn't feel that way, that as long as, you know, I shared with him when she was moving or certain things, he was perfectly fine with that. He didn't feel any type of way. But for me, it's hard when we're reaching these certain milestones, but it doesn't look like what you see. You know what I mean? Most of the diagrams and the resources and things of that nature show what it looks like on a mid to smaller size woman, but it doesn't really show what pregnancy looks like on a plus size body. And so that was a little disheartening for me. Just, you know, when you hit, honestly, the end or the beginning, the end of the first trimester, beginning of the second trimester, most women are showing by then. Because my stomach was already big before, I honestly didn't show until probably 28, 30 weeks. Like, I would say just recently I started to really have like a more rounded stomach. Maybe even 26 weeks, because at my baby shower I was kind of, you know, getting there. But most of it was still my stomach. Now I can really feel like the baby. Or when we were out and about, you know, we see other women who are mid-size or smaller who were pregnant, like visibly pregnant. And for me, I just still looked fat. So I think for me emotionally, that was just a hard thing to accept. And even in this experience, people don't assume that I'm pregnant. They just think that I'm big. And then when I tell them that I'm pregnant, they're like, oh, okay. You know, it's not like, oh, you can look at that girl and she's definitely pregnant, you know? And so I think that's one thing in this experience that has just been hard for me because, you know, everybody wants the cute little bump and everything like that. And as a pregnant plus size woman, you don't always get that. I do have a bump now for sure, but it's just not necessarily the typical look that you would think you would see. And I understand comparison is a thief of joy, but being how I have been and just feeling all these emotions so deeply, that was something that I really struggled with for most of this pregnancy, was just not having that, you know, cute little baby bump or having the aesthetically pleasing stomach so that, you know, I can post what it looks like, or being able to show the baby kicks in a way that people can see, because half of it is just under my fat, you know what I mean? So I think that's something that I've been navigating that's been a little tricky for me, just accepting. But I also understand that at the end of the day, this is my body, and I'm grateful to my body for taking care of this child, for taking care of me, for helping me, you know, literally create this child. So I'll never take anything away from my body. It's just been something that has been hard. Emotionally, people were not lying when they said pregnancy brings some emotions out of you. Sometimes I'll just cry. Me and Michael will be joking around, and then all of a sudden he'll say something and I'll just start crying, and it's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. But yeah, emotionally it's also been challenging, just because mentally and emotionally, emotional maturity wise, I don't 100% feel that I'm the best. I'm not at the best place emotional maturity wise, and so I'm just trying to do everything that I can to show up for this child and make sure that I'm not passing on any traumas or anything that I experienced as a child onto my child. And it helps having a partner who, you know, checks you and holds you accountable. But at the end of the day, it comes down to me and what I am able to do, you know what I mean? How I'm able to show up day in and day out for not only myself, but for this baby. And so I've had to have a lot of tough realizations about who I am and what I'm doing. And as an example, even this video, you know, it took me a while to make this video when I could have just sat down and done it. And I've just been procrastinating because I haven't felt like myself. I don't feel comfortable in my body right now. There's just a lot that's been weighing on me mentally. And I think also with just the hormones, it makes it 10 times worse. Just feeling things very deeply and making sure that as I'm trying to learn listening and listening to respond. Yeah, but it's been tough. It's been tough. So the next question is, how has my body image changed throughout my pregnancy? I kind of just got into that a little bit, but I will add that I've had a hard time with my clothing just because I haven't bought any maternity clothes. So a lot of my clothes don't fit how they used to fit, and honestly just seeing myself and bringing in that aspect of, you know, physically not looking pregnant and just feeling super super big, I think that's definitely affected my self-confidence a little bit, if I'm being completely honest. I'm proud of my stomach every day because our baby is in here, but I think how I feel in my clothes has definitely changed, especially during the end of my second trimester, moving into where I'm at now in, you know, mid to late third trimester. And I guess I could have bought maternity clothes, I just didn't, because the summer I'm just wearing stretchy, comfortable leggings and clothes anyway, so there's not really any need for that. But I think also just watching my body change. And I think physically, because I can't do certain things that I have been able to do in the past, it's been something to really adjust to. But yeah, I mean, overall, I still love my body. I still find myself very beautiful, very attractive. But there are moments where I'm like, dang, like, when did this happen? You know, when did I get so dang big? But Is the baby getting big? Not me, period. The next question is, what has surprised me most about being pregnant? Dang, that is a hard one. I think the thing that surprised me the most was how feeling the baby move for the first time was actually gonna feel. I'm not gonna lie, it feel kind of weird. It feel kind of weird. It's always good because I love to feel the baby moving. That means the baby's doing good. But I always tell Michael it kind of reminds me of Alien versus Predator, like the Alien movies, when they have the little thing in their stomach when they, yeah, that's kind of how it feels. It kind of feels a little strange. Especially as she's getting bigger and just being able to feel her in multiple spots at once. Yeah, that's probably the thing that surprised me the most. The next question I got was, how do I plan on giving birth? Do I plan on getting an epidural or giving a natural birth? Right now, I'm planning on giving a natural birth. Obviously, things change in a second when it comes to a birth plan, but right now I'm planning to have a natural birth. Obviously, whatever it takes to get our baby here safely, I'm willing to do. But yeah, my preference would be a natural birth, no epidural. People have told me that I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for not wanting to get an epidural, but I just don't like the idea of being numb and not being able to move my legs and stuff. I really want to have free movement during my birth, and also just to bond with the baby, because a lot of people talk about what it's like to experience pregnant or what it's like to experience labor, but it's also your child that's experiencing the labor as well. They're literally going through the process of entering the world. So I don't know. I just think it's a good bonding experience for me and the baby to experience labor together without any numbing or whatever. And this is not at all to knock any woman who chooses to get an epidural. Look, I've never done it before, so I might understand afterwards. But as of right now, that's what we want. Yeah. This was a really good question. It says, do you feel seen and understood by your doctor and your care team? That is a great question, especially being a plus size pregnancy, because I've seen a lot of stories where plus size women don't feel that way about their care providers or their doctors. And I'm not going to say that I trust them wholeheartedly, primarily because I don't have one main OB. The way that the office works is essentially I've seen most of their OBs, and basically whoever's on call during my labor is who's going to be my doctor. So I definitely have a preference for who I would want in the office, but as of right now, I'm not sure who specifically is going to be there. And I know that honestly, a lot of it is just the nurses who are going to be in labor and delivery, and I feel pretty comfortable with them. We've done a hospital tour and everything, and I feel good and comfortable about where I'm giving birth. But yeah, I mean, we're always going to question, always going to make sure that everything is good and how we want it, especially because of how things are, especially for Black women. I've been considered a high-risk pregnancy because of my weight and because of my race. That combination has put me at a higher risk of preeclampsia and things of that nature. As of right now, I mean, I haven't experienced anything negative. My glucose tests, both of them have been perfectly fine. All my blood work has been fine. Everything, my blood pressure has been normal. Thank God. So right now I don't feel any tension or fear when it comes to who is going to be there when I am giving birth, because I know I'm going to have my partner there and he's very supportive and he's, going to make sure that I'm good. But yeah, I think that's just something that's going to come as we get there. I'm about as comfortable as I'm going to get, and I'm just grateful that, I don't have anybody who has necessarily made me question, other than there was one doctor who we were asking, when we were getting close to, I think about 20 weeks, we were just asking about different positions and what's available at the hospital, like what resources they have. Cause, I want to be able to move and change positions and squat and things of that nature. And her only response was, well, you have to physically be able to do it. And it's like, well, yeah, girl, we get that. But what options are available, and she just kept reiterating that. And so we had to see her one other time, but we kind of just don't like her from the office. But everybody else has been really supportive and really thoughtful. And honestly, the doctor that we like the most actually left the practice. So just kind of taking it one day at a time with a grain of salt, and just knowing that at the end of the day we have each other, and that, you know, we know what we want, so that we're both able to advocate for us and the baby when the time comes. This one says, what's in your hospital bag? So honestly, I only packed my bag because Michael convinced me that it was time to actually get ready and pack the bag. Right now, all of my clothes are in there, and we packed the baby's first outfits. We packed two newborn outfits and 2 0 to 3 month outfits, because we honestly don't know how big she's gonna be. We were both really big babies, so there's a chance that she might not fit the newborn clothes, but we don't know. So we have all of her stuff packed, and for me, I have my clothes packed and some little essentials, but some things that I need to add. I need to add all of my postpartum stuff. So like the Perry bottle, the witch hazel pads, all that stuff I still have to get, as well as just little toiletries. I want to go to Walmart or something and get the little bottles, the little travel size bottles to bring to the hospital, just because I don't want to have to worry about putting stuff in little bottles at home. I just want to go make it simple. So we're probably going to do that soon. Other than that, I'm not really bringing that much. We're bringing an extra bag so that, you know, we can get all the goods from the hospital. But other than that, from what we've seen, we don't really need to bring much to the hospital. It's just more so stuff for us and things that are going to make the experience better. So I think we're gonna also bring our JBL speaker so that we can listen to music and stuff. And I'm also gonna bring my little handheld fan so that I can use that. But yeah, other than that, we're keeping it simple. This question says, what is your go-to hairstyle and outfit when you are feeling low energy? Which is often. It took a lot for me to do my makeup today, so yeah, we have that down to a science. So my go-to hairstyle is a slick back bun, a slick back low bun, because I can literally just take my hair and go like this. I use gel or mousse or something to lay them edges down, you know, make sure it's not frizzy and stuff. And my go-to outfit is definitely some biker shorts and a t-shirt, or some leggings and a t-shirt. Mostly because those are the most stretchy clothes that I have right now, and thus the most comfortable, because honestly the baby doesn't like a lot of pressure on my stomach from any pants that have a really tight waistband. I don't think I've worn jeans since the first trimester because they're just not comfortable right now. But I would say that, or honestly a dress. The next question is asking, what comfort foods or cravings have I had? I mentioned it earlier, but honestly, I haven't had that many food cravings, or crazy cravings. Like, because I know when my mom was pregnant, she ate peanut butter and pickles and crazy things like that. And I've seen all sorts of different cravings on the internet and on TikTok and stuff. But the only thing that I really had, especially in the first trimester, was sour candy. Especially, I was I was messing up them watermelon Sour Patch candies real bad, real bad. But the thing that I've craved the most is pizza. Me and Michael were just talking about the day, wondering whether I was going to be craving that after I'm pregnant as much as I do now. I swear I could eat pizza every single day and be completely content. I liked pizza before, but it was never to this extent where I was literally could eat pizza all the time. And the craziest thing is, it gives me heartburn and I don't care. The next question is, did you guys have a baby shower? Yes, we did. I posted pictures on my Instagram. You can go check them out, because we did a baby shower and a gender reveal. And I will tell you all the gender at the end of this video, so stay tuned. We got pretty much everything that we need. We have the car seat. We have, you know, the crib, the bassinet, the changing table, a bunch of clothes, diapers, swaddles, all those things. The only thing that I still need, that we absolutely need, is a breast pump, because I do want to breastfeed. So that's definitely something that we have to get before baby girl comes in a few weeks. But yeah, it was a great experience. You know, our family was all able to come out and travel to see us and visit for that weekend. So that was a really great time just to connect, and also for Michael's family and my family to officially meet, because he's met my parents, I've met his parents, but our parents have not yet been in the same place together yet. So that was a really cool experience, and we were just so happy and grateful that, you know, they got along and they really enjoyed each other's company. But yeah, our baby shower was a great time. It was definitely a lot going on that day, and I was so sad because I had to rush to do my makeup. But other than that, everything was great. The food was great. The company, we had a great time because we did a gender reveal at the baby shower. Everybody was all there at the same time, so we just took that as the opportunity to let everybody know. And we also have a name for the baby, but we are not sharing that until after the baby is born, because we just want to say a prayer over the baby's name before we start sharing it with everybody else. Our family and friends do know, but they are the only ones who we decided to share it with. And the last question is, what are we having? And the answer is, we are having a baby girl.
It's a girl!
Which is a lot of pressure, y'all, in the best way.
Created through love, not mistake. That this was deserving from the one above that placed this blessing inside of Janae.
I think that God has blessed us with this, and you know, I think Michael has reiterated this as well. I think God blessed us with a baby girl to really force me in a position where I need to grow. Because if I'm being completely honest, there's a lot of things that I'm still working on healing from. And as a mom, I know that I don't want to be a source of trauma for my daughter. I want to make sure that I'm supporting her and showing her how to be the best version of herself. I want her to be a mini-me, but in that same vein, I want to be someone who's worthy of that admiration. And so yeah, I'm just trying my best to be somebody that she can be proud of, that she can look up to, you know, that can show her a different way than what I knew, to be just the best version of herself. And so yeah, we are having a baby girl. But yeah, y'all, that is all the questions that I got. If there are any additional questions that you want answered, please let me know in the comments below so that I can get them answered for you. I mean, if there's enough questions, I'll just do a part 2. This has been my experience thus far, and I will do my very best to make sure that I keep you guys updated through the last part of my 3rd trimester, and also with the labor process and how that goes. Please check out my Instagram and my TikTok as well so that you can stay tapped in and find out when our little baby girl decides to come. As always, thank y'all so much. I have missed you. I'm glad to be back. And before I go, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, turn your post notifications on to stay tapped in with y'all. Bye.
Sucker nigga shoulda knew it from the get-go. Yeah. Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. Come on, baby, don't play with it.